Hello friends. In this video we will explore the viewpoint of moral relativism. Moral relativism is the idea that there is no universal or absolute set of moral principles. It's a version of morality that advocates, to each her own, and those who follow it say, "Who am I to judge?" Moral relativism can be understood in several ways. Descriptive moral relativism, also known as cultural relativism, says that moral standards are culturally defined, which is generally true. Indeed, there may be a few values that seem nearly universal, such as honesty and respect, but many differences appear across cultures when people evaluate moral standards around the world. You may have noticed differences between way of life of Indian people, European people and Chinese people, and you may also have noticed that each of them boast their own way of life. Further, we also notice the difference between various religious philosophy that people follow around the world, such as between Jainism, which preaches absolute non-violence, and Islam, in which killing animals is part and parcel of their rituals. Another stark example is the difference between the traditional way of life of tribal people, such as Sentinelese people of Andaman Island or Yanomami people of Amazon rainforest, and the modern way of life of mainstream people, such as the people living in high-rises of New York or Delhi. So according to moral relativism, all these way of life are equally good and they have their own good reasons to believe in whatever they believe, whether it's the consumerism and colonialism policy of the modern people or the faith in animism of the tribal people. Meta-ethical moral relativism states that there are no objective grounds for preferring the moral values of one culture over another. Societies make their moral choices based on their unique beliefs, customs, and practices. And, in fact, people tend to believe that the right moral values are the values that exist in their own culture. To illustrate this, consider the values of early Vedic people who believed in praying gods to achieve material prosperity, and were frequently involved in raids and killing of men, women and children of other tribes. But as we move to the later Vedic period, we see a change in the moral values, such as praying gods for spiritual upliftment rather than for material gain, and glorifying large-scale war and warriors rather than plundering and killing of innocent people in the raids. Normative moral relativism is the idea that all societies should accept each other's differing moral values, given that there are no universal moral principles. Most philosophers disagree, however. For example, just because bribery is okay in some cultures doesn't mean that other cultures cannot rightfully condemn it. Further, many tribes or even religious fundamentalists consider killing their enemy without any reason as an act of courage, or killing the people of other color simply to satisfy ego as mark of superiority, and according to relativism they are right in their place, but if we universalize these principles, then soon we all will end up killing each other. As Mahatma Gandhi famously observed, "An eye for an eye makes the whole world blind." So, while there can be culture-specific rules or ways of life relating to economy, polity, and society and religion, there are things which seem absolutely necessary to maintain order in a society in particular and in the world as a whole in general, such as non-violence, freedom and respect, etc. So, we can't always say that everything is relative, that there is no universal truth. As far as cultural values are considered, we need some of them to maintain peace and order in the world. Thank you for watching the video.